Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. It is time now for the High School Notebook, brought to you by Dunkin. America runs on Dunkin, and we are joined this week once again by Matt Trabold, who is all over the place in Monroe County, and we have plenty to talk about. We're going to start off with some girls soccer.
Sounds good to me.
So, Matt, it looks like the more things change, the more they say the same. We talk powers in girls soccer, and we're talking the Pittsford schools, Sutherland and Mendon. Talk about their programs, talk about their teams, and talk about the season ahead for them.
Like you just said, those are two of the teams most synonymous when it comes to this sport and a lot of other sports, but just around Section 5 as a whole. And at the 3-week mark of the season, Sutherland, as one of those teams, is undefeated and atop the Class A standings, which are very packed. It's even more impressive because Grace Allen, one of the top returning players in the state, has not been able to be active right now for the games for those teams, or for the Knights, I should say. And then you mix in the fact that they started off with such a bang in the season opener. Pretty rare, I think, a rivalry game. Mendon-Sutherland happening so early on, but 0-0 late. Laura Bennett gets the goal, 1-0, and it really has kind of helped them grow right off the bat through the season so far. And I mentioned the Vikings as well from Mendon. And they are not quite as high in those pack standings in Class A, but they're not far behind the Sutherland Knights. And their striker, Grace O'Hara, usually one of the smaller players on the field for their games, but she makes up for it in aggressiveness and she finishes with footwork.
What about some of the other teams to watch? I know on the west side there's one other team that you wanted to mention.
Yeah, Athena. And right now the record is not very good, but I think they are maybe going to have a climb as the season progresses here, because early on, they're trying to figure out how to play without two stars that graduated after last season. Both D1 girls, one went to Austin P, one went to Notre Dame. So right now, Jade Talone and company, I think, putting together the pieces. They recently had a big comeback late. They came up a little bit short at Mendon. A very good team in Class A. So that is certainly promising. You throw in, I think, somebody to watch, 8th grader, Rihanna Hudson, her older sister, I mentioned a second ago, went to Notre Dame. Wanaya Hudson, she is starting for the Irish as a freshman, very impressive. And against Arcadia recently, the 8th grader had a hat trick. So the pieces are there. Once they get together, the new names, we'll see.
How about on the boys' side of things?
I think Spencerport, maybe not a super surprise because last year they went pretty far in sectionals, but they just seem like a whole different monster this year. And right off the bat against Mighty Athena on the boys' side, they had season opening loss, only 1-0 to a very good team there. But since then, they had 4 rattled off wins and a combined score in those 4 wins of 20-1. So obviously good offense, good defense. Maybe the best back line in Section 5 right now, and that includes a new starter in junior Patrick Ubelacker, the sweeper. He is poised, he is precise, he is powerful, and behind him, one of the more notable, accomplished goalies in town in Jaden Schlurf. So I really look at Spencerport as a team that I think can just take that extra level of dominance.
All right, great stuff, Matt. Thank you so much for joining us. We're back with more of the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College right after this.